people, whether it's an earbud at work, in between class, while you're working out, or sitting on your ass. I want to welcome you to the CharlieGtv Podcast. And we have a hell of a show lineup here for you today. You know what I mean? It's going to be so much to talk about today, man. I'm telling you, I have a great guest in here today. It's February 28th. It's the last day of Black History Month. You know what I mean? And we got many headlines to get into, of course, with the guy that's in the White House right now. You know what I mean? But before we get into all of that, you know what I mean, I got to introduce the great guest that we have on here today. This week, I'm happy to showcase another Detroit native, Fed State alumni. He came out the darkness shining with a magnificent story. The founder of Save Detroit. Please give a warm welcome to none other than John Williams. Welcome.
I like that. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
No doubt.
Thank you for having me.
No doubt. Thank you for coming on the show. I really, really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Try not to look at yourself. Try not to look at
It's that blue.
I know it's
really.
Because you got like 3 different screens, which is so funny, you know what I mean? But yeah, what you call it? We started every podcast with what I call the Watch This Week. So it could be a video game, or it could be like a TV show, a movie. It could be a basketball game. Like, what did you watch this week that that you remember that you want to recommend to the people, or that impacted you? It could even be story time if something crazy happened.
Well, don't take this the wrong way, because he got a lot of haters. But I'm a big LeBron James fan. So all this week I've been checking out my man LeBron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last basketball that I watched was LeBron, because I watched him in a game. I want to say it was against the Warriors where he was 40 and he put up like 40.
Yes, sir.
He did 40,
yes,
put
sir.
up 40. You know what I'm saying? He did his thing, yo. He was like lights out in that game. But he was here. Yeah, and he still had shit. He knocked some white kid on his butt. You know, he was LeBronin.
Yeah.
At 40, he was still 100% LeBronin.
And I think he have a personal vendetta against Golden State. He just love getting in their butt.
Yeah, for real. And what you call it? Why do you think LeBron gets a lot of hate? I mean, well, what do you think is the biggest thing?
You know what? I can't put my hand on it. I honestly can't, because the kid do everything right. You know, I don't see where the hate come from, but they all get it though. All the greats get it. You know, Mike got it, Cole got it, LeBron getting it.
But the numbers speak for themselves. You know what I'm saying? The numbers, that like the statistics. I just seen someone put something up against Kobe, and and he had like everything green on his side. You know what I'm saying? But
and he still would get hate.
Still get hate. I seen something the other day when it was like it had showed the top 10 scoring, and of course he's number 1. But then it also showed the top 10 scoring assists. Like, what were they in assists? And all of them was like way lower. And he's also number 4 in assists. So how you number 1 in scoring and all time, and then you number 4th in assists all time,
and it don't math. So they still got something negative to say about that. But I don't know. Like I say, all the greats get it. All the greats get that hate. So
they even say he's not clutch when he's made more clutch shots than the people they say is clutch. So no matter what the statistics say, no matter what
they're gonna move the goalposts. I don't understand it. Then, like now. Me and the guy just got into it at work. I mean, we didn't get into it. It was a little wrestling thing. So I'm telling him, this how good the kid is, man. Y'all keep comparing him to Mike. Mike ain't been in the league over 12 years now, 10, 12 years now.
Yeah.
Y'all don't have nobody in the league that y'all can compare him to, that he's playing in right now. He's still playing in this time.
Yeah, for right now.
But they keep saying, Mike, he ain't this, and Mike. I
even Googled it to see it. To see what Google says, because I know my opinion, but I wanted to see what Google has to say about it. And even Google said that LeBron James is considered number 7 in the league. You know what I mean? But I'm still like, listen, to be 20 years in the league and still be top 10,
thank you,
is still amazing.
In my book, he's still, I want to say top 5.
Yeah, and you should judge him on a curve, because all right, he might be number 7 statistically and all of that, but the fact that he's 40
and still in the conversation.
Come on. Still balling on these youngins. Showing you the basketball IQ, man, and the willpower, and
So I get it, man. I get it.
I only got one thing. I only got one thing about LeBron. One thing, honestly. Because I'll let go of the little, maybe they say he like, bitches and moans sometimes. I'll let all of that go. But I gotta admit, man, his longevity is what makes me wonder. Sometimes in the back of my mind, I'm slightly worried about any sort of like steroids
No.
or PEDs? Like
No.
he's definitely. What percentage you think is a chance? You think it's a 0%?
It's not a chance. They get tested before season, mid season, and he gets so much hate. If he was doing that, I believe it would have been came out.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think he's doing something that's like legal, but he's probably getting some baby blood or some
care
stem
of himself,
cells,
man.
some stem cell smoothie shake or something.
No. He take care of himself. They say he spent like $1 million a year on his health.
Yeah,
through the summer, it's off season. So the work he put in, it shows on the court. Man.
He just eat nothing but ripe grapes every morning.
None of that seedless stuff. None of that seedless stuff. No. No, but
oh my God.
And I'm kind of tied into him, honestly. It's like 80-20 with me. I respect what he do off the court versus what he do on the court. And we don't have nobody like that. We honestly don't have nobody like that. And I respect him to the fullest on that.
I almost wish he was a little, because it does worry me. You got to have a little bit of an outlet. Like I feel like he doesn't show enough for how much he has to deal with, for how long he's been under the spotlight. And for him to he has so little allegations.
Yeah.
The worst thing I have on him is I'm gonna take my talents to South Beach.
That's it.
That's the worst thing I got on.
That's the only thing.
You know what I
mean?
mean? So like he all the shorties. I've literally seen videos of him running away from women.
Yeah, but that go to show you your circle. He got a tight circle, tight knit circle. You know, his mom, his wife, his kids.
They keep him out of trouble.
They keep him out. Yeah.
They do a good job of keeping him out of trouble.
Yeah, for sure. And not only that, his homeboys, his family. I mean, well, his homeboys is his family. You know, I kind of keep up with him, so his circle keep him kind of tight. You know what I mean? Keep a lot of stuff away from him. You know what I mean?
I respect that. That, man.
But like I said, I'm tied into him 80-20. 80% of what he do off the court, 20 on the basketball court.
I'm honestly, as much as I go both ways, but I'm really excited to see what he might actually put his energy into once he retires. But on the other hand, I want him to ride this game until his wheels fall off.
Yeah, he said it. He said, I'm going to squeeze every...
I want, you know what I mean? Because I felt like even though Kobe put up great numbers in his last game, Kobe was always injured in his last couple of years. He always had like playing with 9 fingers or he got like a shoulder this or like this, that. So I felt like his injuries kept building up every season towards the end to a degree. And though he would play through them sometimes, it was still fucking him up. So
it was messing him up,
yeah. So I understand why I feel like he left the game because the game was getting rough on him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I understand.
And that Achilles, I tore my Achilles. That's a real bad injury.
What is that?
It's kind of tough.
Like?
It's when it happened to me, I thought somebody punched me on my back because mine snapped and went up into my calf. It was almost the same thing Cole had, but that's a real bad injury. It's like a rubber band snapping.
The worst one I ever seen, and we all seen it. I'm surprised he's still playing.
KD.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's the most vivid memory I've ever had of dealing with that.
And coming back, I believe the worst part about them kind of injuries is the mental part. You don't want to do it again. Like now I don't want to. I be wanting to play. You know, it's a league. They play a 50 and over league around the corner from my house, and everybody be trying to get me to play, but my mental won't let me play. Like I'm scared the other one might pop. Yeah.
You know, and that's what they always say. Like your body be healed, but then
your mind,
you trust in the body part again. You know what I mean? That'd be the thing. Like it took me a while. Like when I broke my wrist, I couldn't do push-ups when my wrist flexed for the longest because it would hurt. So I used to do push-ups on my fists. Okay. And then gradually I started trying to work it back, trying to trust the back to take the pressure, and now I can do them. But it takes a while before you're gonna put that same pressure how you did without any thinking about it. Yep. You know what I mean? The same way you used to. And even though sometimes on some of these injuries, especially with some of these guys, they come back stronger. They attach your shit with some next shit that in the end make it stronger than it was originally. Yeah,
that goes to show that money, man. Money changed things. Yeah. Them guys millionaires. Yeah, so they get the best of everything. So
Yep. Yeah, they using brand new baby limbs just strap it out.
Put you back together. Yeah. Money talk, boy. I'm telling you.
They just snatching people out of trap houses.
Yes, sir.
Anybody gonna miss them? Nah. That's messed up.
But yeah, Brian a different animal, man. That's my guy.
I love LeBron.
Shout out to LeBron, man.
The way I always compared it, because people always coming at him and Jordan. The way I always compared it in my mind personally, even though if I was starting a franchise,
Mm-hmm.
I would choose, and I had a choice between LeBron and Jordan,
Mm-hmm.
and it was going to play for my team for the whole day. I'm choosing LeBron.
I got to.
Because LeBron gave me 20 years of barely any injuries.
I got
now,
to.
if I could just convince him to just, because you could argue he might load manage just a tiny bit,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but everyone in the league load manage just a little bit.
And he
Maybe-
earned that though.
Maybe miss a back-to-back game.
Yeah,
once
he
in a while,
earned
you know,
that.
you know what I mean? You
If
know?
anybody can load manage, he's earned it.
Yeah, but Michael be like, hey, I played all 85. You know what I mean? Michael be like, so I do give Michael that. I do respect that. You know what I mean? That's one of the reasons why I always say shout out to Brett Favre, because Brett Favre holds a record that I don't think anyone's really going to beat. Because Brett Favre played, I think it's something like 300 and something games consecutively without missing a game for an injury. In the game like football, when people is hitting and everything, to play 300 something games straight without missing a game,
That's cold. Yeah, that's cold. In a physical game.
that's a very physical game. It's very hard to do. You know what I mean? But LeBron was playing so many seasons, man. All right. So, question I have for you here is like, what was it like for you growing up? Was it like a single parent household? Did grandma raise you? You know what I mean? Did you have a lot of brothers and sisters?
Yeah, my grandmother raised me, man. My mother died when I was 12.
Oh,
And my grandmother took me in. Shout out to my grandma, because if it weren't for her, I probably wouldn't be here. But yeah, I never had my father, but my dad stayed right next door to me, and I didn't find out he was my dad until I was 19.
wow.
I got 3 older brothers. I got 2 sisters that I grew up with, didn't know they was my family. Yes, sir. Right next door. So I had both my grandmas on Seminole. I had 3 older brothers and 2 sisters that I actually like played basketball with, played football with, help them wash their cars. Didn't even know they was my brothers.
Wow.
Yep.
So y'all was brothers without knowing y'all.
Not even knowing. But the sad part about the whole thing, when they found out I was their brother, they cut me loose. I don't hear from them. True story. Yeah. Yep. But it's cool. It's cool. It is what it is.
That's
What can I
so
do?
strange.
Strange. Yep. And then, like, another sad part about it, I don't look like my mother's side of the family. I look just like them.
Wow.
I just saw my brother maybe like a couple months ago at the store. He looked at me and walked right by me. Like, and we was neighbors. Forget we brothers. We grew up together. Yeah, we was neighbors.
Even if it wasn't.
And it was
brother,
like
y'all
looking in the
neighbors.
mirror. When we looked at each other, it was like, man, are you serious?
Wow.
And I'm kind of stubborn too. So when he left, I just forget it. You know, I ain't no.
People be
No love
stubborn,
lost.
brother.
Yeah.
Oh man, would you grow
But
up?
I guess they feel some type of way because my dad was cheating on their mom and had me. So I was kind of like a hidden situation. Yeah, he was married. Yeah.
That makes sense.
It makes sense. Yeah. I mean, well, it makes sense, but it don't make sense.
It makes sense, but it don't make sense.
don't make
I
sense,
see
yeah.
what it's saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. And then they taking it out on me like it was
Like
my
you got
fault.
something.
Yeah,
to
I ain't
do
had nothing
with
to do with
Yeah,
it.
had nothing to do.
Not
with
a thing. Not a thing. Yep. And that was my whole big. I kind of carried that on a chip on my shoulder because, you know, I'm big in family. I'm big in, you know, I wanted my brothers in sports. I always think back, like, I played so much basketball. My mother's side of the family didn't nobody play sports. So I used to have to go to the games by myself, walk home by myself. And I got 3 other brothers that played basketball, played football. My dad played for the Tigers. Not the actual, it was their practice team or something. You know, I forgot what it's called, but he was on their practice team. You know, they were sportsmen, you know.
Yeah.
And I could have probably went further if I had that support. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes the support matters a lot.
That's all.
Support matters
That's
a
all.
whole lot. You know
That's
what
it.
I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
and yeah, man, I know what that feels like to not have the support
Oh,
going
yeah.
going to your games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People over there, they got their family in the stands.
Yep.
You know what I mean? There's no one, barely anyone cheering for you. We're like looking,
Man,
you look in the crowd for the face. You know what I mean? I know what that's like.
I just had a story. I'm writing a book, so I throw my little stories out there on Facebook a couple times. And when I was younger, we used to play at the YMCA on Harper and Gratiot. It's a neighborhood YMCA. And this kid, man, he was like the bum on our team. I don't want to say bum, but he was like, but he was our homeboy. But
Hey, Charlie Brown had the one with the little bugs about. Hey, man, everybody got one.
But man, I'm getting chills thinking about the story now because his dad used to be there, man. Like his daddy used to be there, like cheering him on. Like you'd have thought he was Allen Iverson or something.
Yeah,
but he was like our guy that if we beating a team by 20, he get in the last, you know, minute or 2 minutes. But man, that boy getting the game, his dad had a picture of him on his shirt. he had his name on his thing. Man, I used to be wondering, like, dang, man. Thinking of like my dad,
Yeah.
it put you in the thing like, damn, I wonder where my dad at. You know what I mean?
For real, yeah.
And this guy, and to this day, I always wonder, like, I wonder where he at, him and his son. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he loved his son, man. Yeah, I'm getting kind of filled up. But yeah, that was a trip. That was a trip.
I feel you on that. I feel you.
And I used to walk home thinking about like, dang, man. And then when I found out my dad stayed right next door to me, it was kind of like,
yeah,
kind of messed up. Then I was a good kid. I was East Side. I never was in trouble and went to school, got myself in college, and always worked. I wasn't even that. I wasn't a typical East Side bad little kid.
Yeah,
but I knew everybody. You know what I mean? But it's cool though.
No doubt.
This what God. This is my road. God gave it to me. I gotta walk it.
I could tell, man, because it's like that's why I tell people you could be. It even says in the Bible to be in the world, but not of the world.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So it's like you could be in the hood, but that don't mean you have to be hood. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference.
Now don't get me wrong.
I done been in a lot of hood situations.
Yeah.
It kind of like
If I gotta go there,
it's there because it's a toolkit I possess because of where I had to.
Yeah, I didn't do
where
it.
I had to survive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's it was the walk I had to go.
So who were you in high school? What kind of kids did you hang out with? Was it the nerds, the athletes?
The athletes, actually, the athletes.
The
Yeah.
athletes.
It was my neighborhood. I went to Kettering, so and I stayed like right down the street from Kettering. So our whole neighborhood went to the middle schools. Our elementary school, everybody went to the same elementary school. Then we went to middle school, Barber.
Yeah.
Then we ended up going to Kettering. So it was the whole neighborhood. So I was like, athletes in my neighborhood.
All right, no doubt. So
yeah, I had a team too. So
what was high school like? As in, like, was it fights? Because my middle school was more violent. My high school was more cliquey and more. But wasn't some fights, but it wasn't too much. It was more like a lot who's a thought and who's not going on in the school. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
that was more the drama in my school.
yeah, my day, both of my schools was rough. Barber Middle School was rough. It was fights and stuff like that.
Middle school was a battlefield.
Yeah. Then going to Kettering, it stepped it up a little bit. You know what I mean? Because we had a lot of gangs, neighborhoods and gangs and stuff. But thank God we was like the biggest gang. The basketball and the football team, we kind of like stuck together. So you knew not to, go that route. But it was rough. It was tough.
Yeah, the only people that were messing with me was the actual football players. But besides that, no one else that wasn't a football player would have messed with me. You know? Because they don't really want those ones. Then the only niggas that would mess with me was the biggest niggas because for whatever reason, I had like, I think I always credit it because my arms is kind of short. My arms is a little short. You know what I mean? I've always had a strong chest. The moment I started trying to build it, it's like my chest just wanted to be built. You know what I mean? So when I was a junior in high school, I was benching like 275.
Oh, okay. You was a big boy.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't a big boy, but I could lift. I could lift it. For some reason, my chest could push it up. I was lifted I was tied with one of the strongest dudes in there. The two dudes, and them two dudes was linemen. They probably had like a good 50 pounds on me. You know what I'm saying? But I was still putting that. I remember I put it up because I only spent 1 year on JV. Okay. Right, and because I was supposed to spend 2 years on JV, but it was an in between season. And we into weightlifting, and that's when I put up 275. Okay. And then I'll never forget, because my head coach stinks, all right? So the captain, I remember looking, the captain walked over to the coach in the locker, in the weight room. He was like, hey, freshman kid over there, sophomore, just put up 275. I remember my head coach looked over at me and said, no, he didn't. Wow. And then shot you down immediately. Captain was like, yeah, he did. Say, I'll spot him. Let me spot him. Right. So coach asked me to go down and do it again. You know what I'm saying? And I said he stunk because when they spot and he's standing right there, this nigga stink. Like his legs is right there. I was like, oh God. I was like, let me put this up.
So he can get away from me.
Get the fuck away from me, dog. This dude stunk, man. You know what I mean? So I go to put it up. He ain't touching the bar at all. He ain't touching no. He's like his hand is like 2 inches away, but it's right there. But he's not touching the bar at all. So I put it up, and he was like, "All right, but listen, we don't need that kind of strength on JV." You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow!
Why don't we bump you up to varsity?
There you go.
See if you can use that. You know what I'm saying?
Up. You ain't have regular kid strength.
Yeah. He was like, I don't know why you pushing up that type of weight.
Yeah, but my school was it was kind of tough. It was rough.
It was but the difference is that like yeah, it's so much more dangerous out here. Like to me personally, like it's because of y'all guns. To be real with you, you know what I'm saying? Like it's so much more dangerous. I don't even want to fuck with people out here, though. I got so little friends. I don't hang out with nobody, man. I can't do. It took me a while to even want to go over somebody's house for real. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because the way I was looking at it, people looking at me like I was crazy. I'm like, I don't give a fuck what you got to say. I was like, listen, man, if he got a gun and I don't, and I'm at his house, what I walked into is a friendly hostage situation. I'm just assuming when I say goodnight and I'm trying to leave, he gonna let me go. But guess what? What if he says, no, you gotta sit down? Guess what? Now I gotta sit down. Now I'm a hostage. And now I walk my friendly ass into this hostage situation trying to be friendly.
Detroit Detroit not that bad. We get a bad rep because of what people into. You know what I mean? We get a bad rep because of what people into. But I'm been in Detroit 48 years and I ain't have a problem. You know, I don't have problems. I ain't never had a gun pulled on me, shot, none of that. And I be out here. I'm here.
I be out here. He said, I'm here.
Yeah, so it's what you into. It's like, you know, things happen to people that's into stuff.
I mean, I try, that's what I like to think. That's what I like to think. I try to mind my business. I try not to be at certain places certain times of night. You know what I mean?
Then you got to navigate yourself through everywhere. I don't care if it's New York, LA, Nebraska. You got to navigate, you know.
But it's not as bad. Like in New York, I remember growing up, I was never honestly worried about getting shot ever. The only time I was worried about getting shot was when I was at a house party because a couple of them had got shot up. But other than that, you beefing with somebody, they're gonna fight you.
Yeah, we gonna fight.
They're gonna fight you.
Gonna fight.
You know what I mean? Oh, at worst, they might jump you.
Yeah.
At worst, but you can survive a jumping.
See,
you know what I mean?
It's this new generation too, though, man. You know they. I want to say it like this, but they kind of soft, man. We used to fight and be cool the next, you know, about an hour or two later. So it's different. It's just different. This generation, man. Then they got social media now. They got this rap videos. You know, they want to live through this music and stuff like that. So you got to look at it that way. Yeah, that's why we get a bad rap.
And the other thing I ain't have to deal with, I remember when I just left high school, one of my fears and one of the things I was worried about was I did not want to get knocked out on camera. Now, I had never been knocked out, but luckily I grew up in an era where all my fights wasn't on camera.
Yeah.
These days, if I got into as many fights as today as a kid as I did back then,
my
shit
YouTube.
would be, World Star. I was back in my high school. That's when World Star was popping. So every time some shit happened, guaranteed someone was yelling World Star. And someone was recording too, yelling World Star. So so I had to make sure I ain't end up on World Star. So all I was thinking was I ain't trying to start no fight, but if a fight does happen, I gotta fight for my life. I'm swinging with anything I got because I know someone recording this shit, and I ain't going out like that. God damn it, goddamn.
I'm not about to have 1.7 views. 1.7 million views.
1.7 million views. I'm out here sleep. Oh, fuck out of here. Yeah. I ain't going out like that.
Yeah, that's the new thing now. That's the new thing.
I'm telling you.
People won't even help you nowadays. They'll whip out their camera.
I'm telling you. Like, they be like, get him up, get him up. Yep. Buy him weed. You about to record
They say I watched the guy last week. He was drowning. The guy was videotaping. I'm like, dog, he drowning. You whip out your camera. Oh, man. Yeah, it's different. It's different.
Yeah, bro. Guys is trying to go viral, man. It's ridiculous.
That's the truth.
So what you call it? How has Detroit changed in your life? I mean, changed in your eyes, you know what I mean, over the years? Do you feel like it's safer now or worse now?
I believe it's safer. It's money.
Statistics say it's safer.
It's safer. Yeah.
But what's the real feel on the street? How do you feel about it?
Since they redoing a lot of stuff, even like downtown and stuff, I think it's pretty much safer.
How is the temperament of the YNs? Do you know that terminology, the YNs?
Yeah. No, that's a different.
The Detroit YNs.
That's
you know
a
what
different.
I'm saying? If you're in a gas station at 1 a.m. on Dexter and Joy Road, I don't reckon you in a bad position.
Yes, sir.
All right,
yes,
you don't need gas. How bad do you need gas? For real.
Yeah, like I said, you got to navigate yourself. But that's in any inner city. That's not just here. You ain't gonna go nowhere. What? Chicago, 1 o'clock in the morning at the gas station. You know, shoot, it ain't just Detroit. Shoot.
Nah, it's not.
But like I say, these young guys, man, they try to live through other things now. And you know, I mentor little guys, and a lot of them, you ask them where they see themselves 5 years from now, or 10 years from now. I want to be a rapper. I want to be this. I want to be, it's just when we was coming up, they ask that question, I want to be a teacher, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
You don't hear those answers no more. So
No, yeah, you don't for real
Yeah.
for some reason. I'm not sure why.
yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't really hear those answers. I remember one time they asked them, what do you want to be? And they said, I want to be famous.
See what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? It's like normally you want to achieve a level of mastery in something, an achievement which leads to possibly fame due to you being good. But now you just want to be famous.
They want to
You know,
skip the process.
Yeah, you
They
don't want
wanna-
to be good at anything, and that's why you're famous.
Yeah.
You just want to be famous. You know what I'm saying? That's that Kim Kardashian disease. Yeah, that's what I call it. You know what I mean? Because they're the ones that started this getting famous without having
to
a
do the work.
reason
Yeah.
for why you're famous. Like you famous, what? Just because you pretty? Like you're
Yeah.
not even like the prettiest ever. Like,
But the fearful part about it, they'll do anything to get famous.
Yeah,
That's the scary part about it. They do anything to get famous.
that's
The
that.
YNs will go over the top just to be famous.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. And it's like a guy in a position like me, I've blocked a few people in that because there's a few people like, bro, I'm minding my business. Sometimes I look at my stories and all of a sudden I got this YN in my story views. I go to his profile. What do I see? The profile has no pictures posted or it's a private profile, and the only thing you can see is him in his profile picture with a gun.
Yep.
And he's watching all of your fucking stories. And I've blocked a good 5 of these people that match just that description. And then I wonder sometimes, I'd be like, well, imagine a guy with a platform, right? Imagine you got one of these people, and then they ask you to come on your platform, right? Now you in a real tricky position.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Because on one hand, it's like, you invite them to come on a platform. It could go well. You could just have an interview, or you could be pulling up with thousands of dollars worth of equipment, and they could be trying to rob you.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Or you could say no, and now they're trying to look at you as an op because you said no. Now you a gatekeeper. You know what I mean? And now they got a beef with you. You know what I mean? So there's almost no right answer. You just gotta not see them. I ain't see the message with my bad, bro. You know, my inbox be flooded, dog. I ain't see it, dog. You gotta just not see certain messages,
Then
dog. Even when it says seen.
when you do it that way.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, yo, there's like no right way. It's like you holding me hostage, dog.
Yes,
Why
sir.
you? Because you gotta be this menacing, like non-person. You know what I mean? And it's like crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. That's right.
I think Detroit coming up though, man. It's,
Detroit coming. I know the
even
real
the
estate's
vibe
coming.
is getting a little better. You know, is the tension out there like it used to be. You know what I mean? So
I can't wait till this start to be more creators. You know what I mean? Because one of the main reasons why I had one of that camera that I got there is just because it's really good for street interviews.
okay,
You know what I mean? The fact that I can have another mic there and I can have it and it can follow me. You know what I mean? Because I've done street interviews out here in Detroit. You know what I
Okay.
mean? And Detroit is just cool, man. I've walked up on a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Detroit is normally cool. They give me good vibes. You know what I mean? They're never like too mad at me. You know what I mean? Or like give me negativity or nothing like that. You know what I mean? They've been really cool for the most part. You know what I mean?
90% of people get this. They gonna vibe off you because they gonna match your energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's we cool, man. We chill people.
I walked up on this dude one time, and I swear, if you'd have just looked at him, you'd have thought that it would have been not a good idea.
issue.
You know what I mean? But I went up and bothered him because it was on the draft, Detroit draft.
Okay.
And he was walking by on the Detroit Lions, just rolling a blunt while walking down the block. And I said on the thing, I was like, I'm gonna bother him just because he's trying to be low key rolling a blunt. So I walked up and was like, "Hey, how you doing?" He's like, "How you?" It was like,
See, yeah,
and he keep
we
rolling a
chill.
blunt during the interview, and it was just funny as hell. You know what I mean? He was like, "West Side, Best Side," you know it. I was just like, why the West Side always saying that? So you from the East Side,
Yes,
right?
sir. East side for life.
Yeah, East Side, yeah, man. East Side need like a little rhyme or two, something, man. Because I ain't gonna lie, the West Side, the Best Side type smooth. You know what I'm saying? The East Side, it just be like, I had a girl in here, and she was like, "How's it feel to feel for your life every day? Are you okay?"
She was from the East Side or something, or
she from the West Side?
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah, she see East Side people, she be like, "Watch your purse."
Yeah, we kind of
Watch-
tough. East kind of tough. I can't take away from it. East Side kind of tough. We rough. West Side a little tough too, but East Side, whew,
East Side.
you make it off the East Side, you can make it anywhere.
I'm telling you, right?
Yes, sir.
You can make it in.
That's our slogan.
Yeah. The East Side.
You make
can
it off the
anywhere.
East Side, you can make it anywhere.
So if you had $1 million and you had to spend it on a house, would you build a house or buy a house?
Build.
You would Build a house.
Yes,
why?
sir.
Why would you build a house? And what are some things you would want in your house?
Because I could do it like I want to. You know, I could, build it like I want to build it. You know, I could put the rooms where I want to put them, and have my basement, my man cave how I want it. But yeah, I build it. I'll build my house.
Would you build it in Detroit or in Michigan?
Yeah, it'd be in Detroit, East Side.
It'd be in Detroit, East Side. You build it over there.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm
Because
still good over there.
I remember there was someone that was talking about, I want to say it was Dearborn or Dearborn Heights,
Mm-hmm.
and it was talking about how these Middle Eastern people will get money, and instead of moving to West Bloomfield, they'll build whatever house they want right there.
Yeah.
And they're building up right in their neighborhood. You know what I mean? Instead of like running over to another neighborhood.
Yeah, you can ride through. You can ride through Dearborn and see these big old mansions right on the block.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
for no reason.
Yeah, they don't go nowhere. I ain't going nowhere.
No, I love that. I love that. You know what I mean? I do plan to buy a house in 2 years, and I'm hoping most likely it's gonna be in Detroit. You know what I mean? For real. You know what I mean? So, what's your hip hop to R&B ratio when you're listening to music? Like when is it like 70% hip hop, 30% R&B? Is it like 50-50? Is it like
It's like well, me 50-50. I kind of got it. Like I said, I was raised by my grandma, so I got an old soul.
Yeah.
I'm Anita Baker, Diana Ross, Luther Vandross. Then I can flip it, and then I'm old school with rap too. I don't listen to some of this new stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I'm big on Scarface, DJ Quick, NWA. You know, I'm really old school.
Old school.
Yeah.
You
You get in my car right now, you probably hear some Scarface or something.
Scarface, yeah, some old school. So you don't really listen to like. So which one of these new cats like have gained any respect from me?
Honestly, an RRP term, it was Nipsey.
All right.
Nipsey caught my ear. What he was rapping about, what he stood for. Yeah, he caught my ear. Nipsey.
Not so drinking crack through. No Kendrick. No J. Cole. I don't expect none of these little Uzi people.
No, little babies, the babe. No, I don't really get off into it.
None of the babies, none of them people.
I'm strictly old school, and it's surprising that I don't. But Nipsey did catch my ear.
Nipsey did
I listen to Pac, but Scarface, them my guys. DJ Quick, them my guys. DOC, stuff like that.
No doubt. All right. So, what would you say if you had to say between Biggie and Tupac, who you going with? It's classic debate question. Biggie and Tupac.
I gotta go Pac, man.
You going Pac? Why
gotta go
Pac?
Pac.
Why Pac?
Pac was thorough, man, right off the top. I'm not saying Biggie wasn't, but I could feel Pac. Put it that way. I could feel him. Yeah.
I feel like I don't think I had got this thought out earlier. I get in sidetracked sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, between LeBron and Michael Jordan, I look at it like Biggie and
Pac.
Jay-Z. But we could do Biggie and Pac because it kind of makes sense. Because it's just like LeBron, I believe, is going to be like have a better career. You know what I mean? Overall career. You know what I mean? Because he's just multi-talented, well-balanced, and all of these things. You know what I'm saying? He have a better career. The same way how I think Pac would have had a better career because he's in the movies, he's doing this. And as a star, he was going to be bigger.
Yeah, he was going to be way bigger.
He's going to be way bigger. You know what I'm saying? But as a pure talent, as a rapper, just rapping, like flowing off the top and just intricate flows and all of that, I'm giving natural just rapping ability to one of them nastiest, just off the top, really freestyling. I'm giving that credit to Biggie. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen him do a lot of freestyle and other things, and I feel like he's just a better natural rapper. But even though
Pac wasn't a natural rapper.
Pac, I don't know Pac for freestyling like
Oh
that.
yeah, man, you got to check out some of his
I
freestyle.
don't know Pac for really. He had some, but like just with the flow. But he would be a bigger star. But the same way how, as a natural basketball player, I don't know, man. I feel like Michael Jordan was just nasty. He had a certain killer instinct. He had a certain. To me, like he had something. He just had that essence of a basketball player in some way more than LeBron. That's sort of hard to put tangibleness on it. You know what I mean? But he just crystallized that. Even though career-wise, stats-wise, is way better. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about Biggie and Tupac.
I can get that to Mike. Mike had that killer in him. I mean, but you gotta look at it. how I look at it, guys is different that's raised with just their mom versus their mom and dad, brother, big brother. Brian didn't have that. Brian had just his mom. So he's built different. He want to be accepted. He wants you to like him. He wants you to. Mike don't give a damn. Mike don't care if you like him or not. Cole didn't care because they had their dad. They had and not only that, Mike had his brother. They say his brother was worse than his pops. So you got to look at stuff like that. You honestly got to look at stuff like that.
Does
makes a big difference. It makes a big difference.
And having a day-to-day dad, too.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
Because I knew my dad, and I love my dad, but like my dad was like deported kind of back to Jamaica, and he like wasn't allowed to be in America.
Oh, wow. Damn.
I went to go visit him for a couple summers and stay with him in the Cayman Islands and in Jamaica, but he wasn't there like day to day in a way to teach those day to day things, right? You know what I'm saying? So I see what you mean. It does make a difference.
It makes a big difference. It makes a big difference.
That's crazy. He didn't have his. Oh man, that's crazy. You know what I mean? I never thought of it like that. I never thought of it like
so
that.
he had that killer in him when he was young.
The way they was raised up. So coming news questions. All right. So Donald Trump, man. Donald Trump with all these executive orders, you know what I mean, with all of these things that he's been doing, man. I just want to know, what is your general perception of the presidency, of how it's going so far? Do you feel like, even with the good and the bad, I think it's net good for the country or net bad for the country? What would you say?
Nah, I'm not big in politics. I'm not really truly big in politics because I really don't care like that, because I know it's all like it's, put it like this. I kind of like what he's doing because he's not a typical president. He's actually a businessman. And I hear other presidents and countries talk about him like that. They say, no, he come in with a plan of doing business with us. He don't try to go to war with us. He come in as a businessman. He what y'all want to do. Just like he was just the guy from Ukraine. He said, man, you either sign this or, you know what I'm saying? And I respect, because everything he campaigned for, that's what he doing.
Yeah.
He doing exactly what he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and we get into our feelings so much about this race thing, but we're not paying attention to this man is doing exactly what he said he was going to do. And that's what people voted for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like I said, I ain't big in it, but I kind of respect that, because through my 48 years of, watching presidents and stuff like that, they never really do what they say they're going to do.
They never do.
Democrats never did nothing they said. Never.
It's the closest we ever got to someone doing
bingo.
What they said it was.
That's what I'm talking about. I ever seen.
And the other thing, the major thing that I like what he's doing, people keep getting mad at him about, and maybe he's doing some things wrong in that, and there's some things, but you got to break a few eggs to make an omelet. You know what I'm saying?
Listen here. I was taught, I don't know if it was my middle school coach or my high school coach. They said in change, it's going to be uncomfortable. And it makes a lot of sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When things get especially he doing drastic changes, it's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be weird for a minute.
And of course, now they're trying to come at Elon just to drive a wedge in between them, to try to stop the union. Everyone knew that was going to happen anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But my thing is that I heard today that Fort Knox hasn't been audited since like the 50s or 60s. Right. You know what I mean? And Elon's just coming in like, hey,
let's check that out.
Is the gold there? Just question.
Just check it out.
No one asked you guys that since the 50s or 60s. You know what I mean?
1957.
So I'm coming in the amount of stuff that they have found for waste. Like, the government has never been audited. These things have never been done. Into.
That's what I say. It's uncomfortable.
I was just watching the thing, and he was like, yo, the fact that these been blank checks, we're trying to track these transactions, and it's like, I would have thought basic business, every transaction would have, he said, a transaction code, a reason for the transaction, and a person attached to the transaction.
Yeah.
And none of that is there.
It's not there.
It's like a blank check just to, it'd be hard to even check. He was like, just doing that, he implemented a new protocol. Well, listen, every government transaction has to have a person attached to who we can call to figure out why that transaction happened, and a reason for the transaction.
Yeah, where is it?
You know what I mean? And he was talking about with the people asking him what did they do in a day. He was like, if you don't even have the time to try to fool me, just to give me a picture. So, like, what did you do this week? He had issued that email. You heard about that?
Yeah.
It was an email that issued to people who was like, what did y'all do this week?
Right.
What did y'all do this week? And people were like, why did I have the episode? Like, why y'all so worried? If y'all been working hard, what I ask you is what you do. I'm just asking.
This is my take on it. This is my take on it. What is wrong with you going to work?
Yeah, that's the thing. You don't want to go to work.
You don't want to go. I mean,
they don't want to go to.
Some people don't. I don't know, man. I get attacked about it. Sometimes I post stuff on Facebook just to get a rise out of people.
Yeah,
but it's sad, man. I'm seeing what he doing. Maybe, man, he lying. He this, he that. I don't know, man. But what I'm seeing, my granddad taught me that if it walk like a duck, quack like a duck, fly like a duck, it's a duck.
I'll tell you one thing. One thing I saw that made me deeply happy, because I never understood this. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I grew up in the hood. Whatever, man. I was born on welfare, but my mother quickly had gotten off welfare. And my whole time growing up in the hood, it's New York. It's the fashion capital.
Right.
Everybody was fly to me. But these guys will all be fly to me, but these guys but their mamas is on welfare. Yeah. I was just trying to figure out, I remember as a kid, I was like, well, are you poor or are you rich? Because according to how I'm looking at you in class, you got mad bread, but then you on welfare. Doesn't make sense to me. And then I heard this article came out. There was mad people reacting on TikTok to getting some letter talking about if you were able-bodied American, there's nothing wrong with you, and you got to get a job to go get instead of getting the welfare thing. And it was like,
and I see what's wrong with that?
People was very acting like, what do you mean I gotta these benefits? And I was just like, so what's wrong with that?
Right,
asking people that are nothing wrong with them to go get a job.
Then he's saying, if you getting all this, just give me 30 hours of you working. You don't even have to work a full. You know what I mean?
Just give me 30 hours.
30. What was it? 32 hours or something? $30 or something, so you can get your benefits. What's wrong with it? Nah.
They don't even want to work.
Come on, man.
You just wanted to get.
I've been working since I was 13. I'm 48 now.
So how I'm supposed to respect that?
Right. So I don't care nothing about none of that.
I want to feel out, but on the same token, I've been like, thank God.
I've never got help. I never had the car. I never had food. None I always worked. So like I said, man, it kind of go back to the Democratic Party. It kind of like crippled us. Crippled our community. You know what I mean? Giving us stuff. That's like even raising a kid. If you give a kid everything, when he get old enough, what he gonna do?
He gonna be entitled.
Thank you.
When he get
He ain't gonna be the same. He ain't gonna know how to. My grandma kicked me off the porch at 13.
I think welfare is one of the worst things that ever happened
worst
to the black
things.
community.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anyone out there acting like these reduction in government things, like, so what you telling me? Black people can't survive without welfare? That's what you're telling me? You telling me we can't survive without welfare?
And the work ethic is terrible. I work at a casino, right? We get these young guys come in. They get interviewed, they go through the training, they work maybe like 2-3 weeks, and they gone. It's crazy that our turnover ratio at my job, and we make good money, we have good benefits, they clothe us, we can eat how we want for free, everything. Kids don't even look at that. Health insurance, we got 401k, we got, you know what I mean?
401k saved my ass last year.
Yeah. So it's to the point. They've been babied so long, they don't know how to adapt to it.
They got to learn about 401k loans, too, because that's how I'm going to buy my house in 2 years. I'm telling you, the 401k, 401k matters. But so you say it's a casino?
Yeah, I work at MGM Casino.
Oh, man, that's amazing. That's amazing. So you're saying these young kids, they don't see the benefit in the work ethic you're seeing out of them is not?
It's terrible. It's really terrible. Like I say, they go through the training, they work maybe like 2 weeks, and we won't see them no more.
That's crazy.
That's why we kind of got like unlimited overtime now. We can work any shift all day, 16 hours, because they can't keep nobody. Yeah, it's sad.
What's so bad? Come on, there's got to be some reason.
No, man,
what kind of job are they doing?
I do security, so we ain't doing nothing but walking around, making sure young people don't come in the casino. You got to be 21 to come in. So we do that kind of stuff. But it's a fifth grader can do my job. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's crazy. Security. Come on, man. Yep. That's why I gotta get my drone license, man. Because I want to be the drone surveillance. I'm the surveillance guy. Yeah, I'll be the eyes in the sky. You know what I'm saying? So let me ask you this question here. What's your first memory of basketball?
My first memory of basketball. Oh, that's deep. Not being able to play up at my park. I used to go up to my park. Shout out to Penguin Park. And the guys wouldn't let me play. I was young. I was pretty young at the time. And I used to always want to play. Like, I can't wait till I get out there. I can't wait. But you had to be good to play in the first court. It was like 3 courts. It was like one court, then you move to the second one, then the next summer you move to the very first court. Yeah. You couldn't play the first court if you couldn't play. Wow. So I always used to be like, I can't wait. And once I got to going, man, it was first court. I kind of ran the first court. From then on,
That's dope.
Yeah, but that's a big memory, man. I
Playing in the
remember
park.
sitting up there watching them play all day. Like I said, I ain't have my father, so I used to go up there and watch the guys, little guys. The older guys used to take me under their wing.
I had
and
a
stuff
summer.
Like
I had like 3 summers I can remember every day getting up on my basketball, leaving the house, going to the basketball course, and coming back when the sun was down.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I used to be up there all
every
day.
every day going to the course. I know what that's like. The
Yeah.
park, people coming to you in there and your jump shots, get a little game going,
Yeah.
get enough people for a squad together. You know what I mean?
My time up there was like when the game over, I can shoot around to the next game play.
Yeah.
Once I got to go doing that, it's over.
I had a decent shot, man. I'll never forget. I never took basketball that seriously. I always played football because I was never quite tall enough, I felt like, for the rest of basketball, really. You know what I mean? But there was this one kid, this one game. I was like a streaky shooter. I don't know, it only happened to me like 3 times in life. But there's been games when I could not miss. I could not miss.
Okay, Steph.
And there was one day, it was against this kid, and he was taller than me. And I took some shots that I didn't even expect to go in. And everything I put up went in. This nigga wanted to fight me. Because he was a ball his life ass. He was like, ball his life. Ball his
Oh, he was one of them. Okay, yeah, one of them.
So for him to be getting beat by some short, chubby kid that just kept, if he didn't block it, if it got out my hands,
it was going in.
He just got hit by one of them games that day, and I knew it wasn't just because I faced someone after him that day, and I did this one shot. I did a turnaround from like damn near like a 3, and then just drained it. Everything I was doing was going. I was going to the rack like.
I would have been mad.
Everything I was doing was going in, bro. It was nuts. It was like I was on a cheat code or something. That only happened like I said 3 times in life, but.
Wow,
man, it felt so good. Yeah. Everything was going in.
They called that what they call that? You was in the zone.
Yeah,
you was in the zone.
I was in the zone.
You was in the zone.
Man. Everything was going in, man. The flow state. Shout out to the flow state, man. I haven't been able to really access it since I broke my neck for real. I only got it a couple times. I feel like it broke my ability to tap into the flow state. 'Cause I used to get that with rapping too. I wouldn't do that as an athlete, but as rapping, it used to happen. It happened a little bit when I quit weed for 2 months, and then I went back to smoking weed, and then I was rapping. But sometimes when I'm rapping, when I'm freestyling, it'll all come out like almost like a damn near song. And during doing it, I'm not even like thinking while doing it. It's almost like sometimes it comes out too good, and I'll be feeling like I didn't even come up with it. You know what I'm saying? I felt like something else came up, and it was like using me to like put it out here. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I was acting more like a conduit than like a person consciously trying to rap at that moment. And then I mean, the shit just starts coming out. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to me consciously thinking, oh, let me do this melody, let me think of this thing. It just like starts fucking happening. It's almost like a spiritual experience. And it's only happened a couple times where I was right. It used to happen a lot more before I broke my neck, but like, yeah, it's a crazy experience. So, what was your favorite position to play in basketball?
I was a guard, 1 and 2.
You was a guard, 1 and 2.
Yeah, point guard and shooting guard.
Point guard and shooting guard.
Yes,
So,
sir.
what player when you was watching growing up did you feel like you most like?
Zeke, Isaiah.
Isaiah?
Yeah, Isaiah Thomas. I patted my game behind him. That was my man. Before LeBron, it was Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas.
Yes, sir. Number 11.
Man,
that was my number in high school too.
So is that why you like? So just to be clear, I don't know if I have that. So between LeBron and Michael Jordan, who was you giving the GOAT status to?
LeBron.
Really?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, that's a tough.
That's my guy, LeBron.
You in a generation where you might have gotten
both
to
of
experience.
Them. Yeah. See, no, like I was telling my homeboy not too long ago. The reason why Mike really wasn't on my radar because I was an Isaiah Thomas fan. Just like I'm a LeBron fan, I was an Isaiah Thomas fan. So, like the little kids say, Michael was Isaiah Thomas. You know what I mean? So I really didn't pay it. Mike was good, but Zeke was my man. So he wasn't on my radar like that. So it was a good transition to me, like in LeBron. Because my eyes wasn't on. My eyes was on Zeke. You know, Isaiah.
Yeah. So you wasn't.
So it's crazy. My argument. That's why I can have a big argument about Mike and LeBron and blah 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 blah. Because I really wasn't no Mike fan. I wanted Zeke to beat him every time they played.
Wow. And when I think about it, the Detroit and Chicago rivalry runs deep.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Between who invented jitting and who the roughest city. You know what I mean? As far as New York was concerned, when I was moving here in 2014, when I told them I was coming to Detroit, it was the same reaction as if I would have told them I was going to live on O Block on Chicago O Block. You know what I mean? It was like It was like, you okay? You need help, yo. You could come crash in my crib. Why you going to
no.
Detroit? What's going on? You okay? Like it was like it's like I was going straight to fucking.
I think it's a difference though. I think Chicago just not getting maybe the last 15 years.
See, y'all see a
we
difference.
Deep 60, 70, 60 and 70s we was tough.
Yeah.
Detroit always was known to be, you know what I mean?
New York didn't see no difference. There's no difference. It's just as dangerous. However dangerous you feel like people think Chicago is, that's how dangerous they feel like Detroit was. There's no difference.
Well, it's what that social media.
I mean,
social media
there is
blowing
a
it up now.
difference.
Yeah,
There is
social
a
media.
difference. I think that Detroit is safer than Chicago personally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Because they big in gangs. They big in like blocks and gangs and stuff like that. We tough all the way around. It's like we don't need no gangs to be, you know what I mean?
as far as my
I
experience,
think
has
some
been
guys
in
from Detroit will go take over Chicago, honestly.
Yeah.
The right group of guys from Detroit to go and take over whole Chicago.
Hey, that's what he said. Man. That's what he said. I didn't say that. I think you run into too much ignorance in Chicago. They're shooting too much. They're ignorant over there.
Yeah.
My experience in Detroit so far, honestly, my honest opinion is that long as you ain't got nothing they want, you could probably all right. You know what I'm saying? But if you got something that they want, you know what I'm saying? Like I would say, don't just move to Detroit and then buy a pair of buffs. Like wait, hold on, because you don't know where to put those buffs on and where not to put those buffs on. You don't know when to. You don't know buff etiquette to keep the buffs. All right, you don't know. Hold on. Don't
he said buff etiquette.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm trying to keep you safe. Don't just move to Detroit and buy buffs and just throw them one. Listen, chill.
Yeah.
All right. And the other thing, don't just move to Detroit and buy a Hellcat. Let me tell you something. Don't even do it. Don't even do you just woke up and chose violence.
See, the YNs got it YNs got it like that now. We ain't had that problem
Don't
back
buy
in the
no
day.
Hellcat. Don't do it. Just don't do it.
Just don't do it.
It's not even worth it. You be dead ass be safer in the Porsche.
Yeah.
You be safer
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
Porsche.
Most definitely.
You be
Lexus,
safer in the
Porsche.
Porsche than the Lexus.
They don't know nothing about none of that.
It
They don't
costs
want
more than a Hellcat.
Yeah,
You be
yeah.
safer in it.
Yeah.
You buy that Hellcat. You buy Durango, Scatback. You buy any of them. You basically gave that car away.
But they made it cool, man. Like I said, the social media and these raps made it cool to be these type of things. It's cool to snatch somebody's class. It's cool to steal a Hellcat. You know, it's not. There's no consequence really behind it. They think it's, you know, they'll steal a Hellcat and do donuts in the middle of grass shit.
Yeah.
In front of the police and the stoley. So it's like, it's hip now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nah. I've seen them doing donuts too. It used to piss me off, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They used to do it down the block from my mom's house when I used to live there, and I used to hear them at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Several nights they used to keep doing it, and I would be like, bro, why is that? It'd be annoying. It'd be like, it would wake me up. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, why is no one stopping this? You know what I'm saying? And
See, we didn't do that back in the day. We used to. It's an island called Belle Isle here. You heard of Belle Isle before?
Yeah.
That's our hangout was there. You know, our hangout was Belle Isle. So I ain't about to waste all my gas doing donuts.
You know what I was gonna do?
We're gonna go up there and park this mug and try to get on the girls. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, y'all sitting there doing all, it's just dangerous. And crazy. Like, I was gonna drive a RC car, attach a strip to pop tires to the RC car, and drive the RC car down the block and try to pop their tires with the RC car. And then I was gonna cover the RC car with knives and shit. So either you run over the car, it's gonna pop the tire.
It's gonna pop your tire.
Or the car gonna go down. I'm putting this shit to the stop. All right. Yeah. I was gonna drive. I was gonna do the same thing to a skunk too. I had this problem in my old apartment where every time I left my fucking apartment at 5 a.m. to go to work, this fucking skunk would be there, bro. Like it would be like twice a week. I'd have to look up like. And a skunk is like, you can't really fuck with a skunk, bro. You gotta like go back and like,
just leave him alone.
But I gotta get to work, bro. Like you in my way. Like I gotta get by. It only take one time, bro. I'm like, nah, I'm not trying to get skunked.
I heard that stay on you for about a week.
I'm telling you, I was trying to. This skunk is crazy. I was gonna RC car the skunk too. I was gonna. Here's what I got for your ass. Long distance warfare.
It's a big difference, man. When you was bringing that up, it's making me think. Like when we was coming up. We used to catch the bus to Eastland, our mall, and try to get numbers, or we go to Belle Isle and chill out. But it's different now. It's totally different now.
Riding the bus in Detroit. That's another. I grew up riding the bus in New York.
We used to love riding.
Yeah. Riding the bus in Detroit is completely different because my car went in the shop and I was for like 2 months. And they got to the point where I had to ride the bus in Detroit. I rode the bus at 1 a.m. My opinion on the bus riding in Detroit is that you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the way of life in Detroit is to drive a car. So I don't feel like it's that common OD for the average person in Detroit to be riding the bus. I feel like that more average people in Detroit, average earning, probably have a car.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Yeah,
what I
majority
mean?
of us got a car. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
okay.
So
I ain't rode the bus in so long, but yeah.
I say that to say, like in New York, the way of life is to ride the bus and the train.
Y'all got the
So-
train? Yeah.
yeah.
What's the name of y'all train? No, that's the L is in Chicago, right?
Yeah,
What
we call it an L when it's an elevated train. You know, so we do have some elevated trains that we call
Okay.
it L. We do have the actual L train.
Okay,
You know what I
okay.
mean? And but yeah, we call it the L because it's elevated. We call it the L. We walk underneath the train and stuff like that. But
Okay.
but taking the train and the bus is like the way of life. Like everyone does it.
Does it?
Like going to Wall Street. Bro, if you take the the 4th train, you know the train I'm talking about, New Yorkers, that goes straight to Wall Street, bro. I took it a couple times. You see niggas in $5,000-$10,000 suits with the rollie. Like these niggas work on Wall Street. They're
Oh, wow.
millionaire. These
They're
are millionaire
millionaires.
niggas, yeah. But at the end of the day, the fastest way to Wall Street is the train.
Oh wow.
If you could take your Lambo and sit in traffic. If you there's 2 fastest ways to get to Wall Street. You either taking the helicopter or you taking the train. All right, those are the fastest ways. So they know time is money. So even though they're a millionaire, they got all of this money, they still on the 4 train.
So that's their way of traveling.
Yeah, they still on the 4 train going because it's the fastest way because it's underground. It's going to take you straight there. You know what I mean? So I just said that to say that there's some bummy, crazy people on y'all fucking buses in Detroit, bro. Yeah, there's not too many regular looking motherfuckers on a bus in Detroit, bro. Everybody look like they some level of sketchy.
Well,
everybody.
for one,
like there's only like a couple decent looking niggas. They look like they on a bus. I saw one white person on the bus one time, and I was praying for them the whole time.
But for one, you on there at 1 o'clock in the morning.
I did that like twice. A couple of times it was only because I was getting off at the restaurant. You know what I'm saying? But nah, the level of characters that be on the bus out here, bro, is not the same, bro. Y'all got some sketchy characters on the bus out here, bro. That's all I got to say. There be some people there that I don't know, man. The young kids is one thing. The kids be cool. The kids is they kids. They can't get cars yet. You know what I'm saying? But some of the adults, Jesus, man, Jesus. So, what would be your favorite way to engage with the basketball world? As in, like, would you like to be like a coach? Would you rather be like a owner of a little league team, or would you rather be like maybe just run a gym where they work out at? You know what I mean? Like, or like, what would be your favorite way to interact with the basketball world?
Well, I coached maybe 2 years ago. I coached in middle school. I would like to get back into coaching.
So you like coaching?
I love coaching. Yep. I love teaching. I love the fact that if I'm telling the kids something and I see them actually do it, I get a kick out of that.
Yeah.
So I want to get back to coaching.
It's working.
Yeah.
You like the coach. You know, that's dope.
Because it's showing me a sign that they listening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
you see the
yeah.
effectiveness.
Yeah, I actually want to. Now that you brought that up, I do want to get back into coaching. Yeah. I would want to coach.
So in Europe, so they got 30 and up leagues. They got
50 and up leagues. They go one of them. What's the name right there?
Or the 50 and up
The
leagues.
league, yeah. I played last year, but like I said, my Achilles, I got scared. I was gonna play again this year, but I'm like, it ain't worth it. I don't want to go through that again. So I just chilled out.
I'm a little far from it right now because I don't have the exact equipment, but I know there are HDMI cords that are wireless transmitting. You know what I mean? And I could set it up like. Long story short, I've thought a lot about how to use my cameras, and I've thought about filming basketball games before. You know what I mean? So, in your opinion, how often are basketball games filmed? Like, how are they filmed? At what level? Like, do you think you gotta go to like an AU league or like?
Oh no, high school banging right now.
So high school be filmed?
Yeah, be filmed. Yeah. Shout out to my boy DJ. He got a nice little program at Hamtramck. His high school is pretty good. He run his program like a college. King got a good program. No, our high school is kind of like popular.
No, but I mean,
High
but the high school games are filmed.
Filmed, yeah.
Yep, so you could like, you could watch them later after the game. You know what I mean?
I think
or
it's
live.
a channel. Yeah. It's a channel somebody got to get high school games on there now.
I did hear something about that. I heard something about high school games live. You know what I mean? I heard something about that.
It's both now. It's live and you can watch them later on. I can't think of the name of the channel, but I think you can watch them.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to learn about that. You know what I mean? Because as a production company, as I get more and more sophisticated in my setups and my things, you know what I mean? I could see me, like, I wanted to attack basketball before football. You know what I mean? Because even though I thought of football, because now I'm outside and I can do the drone overhead shot and I can get different angles. I could follow them into the end zone with the drone and do the fun to get certain shots. I could simulate almost NFL level shots in certain ways. You know what I mean? But it's too much space to cover at the end of the day. The amount of lenses and the things and to really capture, like I don't think I can capture a bit. It would take tens of thousands of dollars more in equipment, in my opinion, for me to be able to capture
what you want to do.
A football game. But a basketball game, I feel like I'm like maybe 1 or 2 cameras away, just a couple pieces. Like I'm not that far from being able to set up 3 cameras on a football court. On a basketball court, and then have something like this set up. We're having commentary with the live images of the thing, switching in between us commentary, between the different, like, to set up where, like, same way how this is live, I gotta have the basketball game live. You know what I mean? And have it set up in different scenes and showing different angles of the thing. You know what I mean?
That'll be dope. That'll be dope.
It's not because once you learn how to live stream, you can live. Once you learn how to connect the camera to the equipment, now it's just how many cameras can you connect to it, or what's the distance between the cameras and the connection, and the strength of the connection, and the like. Well, you like I said, you scaffold your way up. You know what I mean? Like I didn't start with all of this equipment. You know, I started with one laptop and connected one mic to it, and then one mic to that, and then record this, and then this to that, and then eventually you build a system. You build it. You know what I mean? But
I could tell you getting it out the mud, man. This was up. I like this, and I was watching you put it together, man. I'm like, well, how do we even remember all this? You know what I mean? That's dope. That's dope.
Sometimes I still mess up something like this here. I still messed it up. You know what I mean? But it's okay. I'm still. You know, how long? I can't even tell. Who has the time?
That we've been on.
Yeah, I can't even tell. All right. So, yeah, nah, fuck it. I'm gonna just steal it off the thing. Nah, because I was supposed to hit record on this, and this is to record the audio separately, but I could just take it off the YouTube video. Once it posts, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, I'll take it off the YouTube video. I wanted to record it separately with that because some of the best stuff there. All right, so oh my goodness. I'm sorry, I apologize, man.
Oh, you good.
So another question I had for you is the viewership in the NBA. Some people criticize the load management. Some people criticize it being a player-driven league. But any way you put it, the ratings, as far as the viewership of the NBA, has been in decline over the last, like during Michael Jordan's era and stuff like that. Like they were getting more views back then to a degree than they're getting now. Meanwhile, I would think it would be more now because there's more ways to stream and there's more way to get views. Like I don't know if they're counting all the highlights, shorts on Instagram and all of that, but I guess maybe they're just counting like the live games, like the finals, the ratings for the finals and stuff like that. Like,
I think just by me being a sportsman, I think the ratings going down because they got a lot of other leagues now. The women have stepped it up. You know, a lot of people watch women basketball now.
No, they don't. But go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, these women starting to play.
They're doing better. They're doing better.
Yeah,
they got that one white girl doing the thing.
There you go. See what I'm saying? And she took a lot of attention.
And they got some of them that's just doing too much like that. What's her name? What's her name? She always posted some thought-looking ass picture. Angel Reese.
Reese.
Yeah, you know, you see how you knew who I was talking about, right?
She do. I ain't gonna lie. I can't take up for it. I ain't gonna lie.
Listen, there be cheeks all type of shit. I be like, dog. I ain't see her play. I barely see her in a uniform.
Yeah. Since they not playing, yeah. But yeah, it's a lot of basketball. So it's getting watered down because you could turn on the channel and find basketball on YouTube, anything. You know, everybody playing now. Like Bronny's son playing in the G League. Then they got this league. Then they got that league. They got the summer league. They got you get kind of burnt out. You know what I mean? So I get burned out sometimes. You know, I don't even watch a full game. I can go on YouTube and watch the highlights. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I normally do now. I watch the highlights, honestly.
So I think it's just getting watered down. You know,
you feel like there's just a lot of other leagues in there. You know, you don't think it's necessarily any like rule changes.
Yeah, when Mike and them playing, it was just Mike and them. You know, it was we didn't even know about women basketball or women college basketball. Or
so how do you feel like? Because me personally, to me it takes a special talent and something interesting happen to bring me back to sports. For football, it was one of the first years that Lamar Jackson started playing. That's what made me because I was always a big fan of Michael Vick, and some of the highlights I saw out of Lamar Jackson when he first got in the league
Resemblance
made me like, oh shit, this kid's doing something.
Yeah.
And then they got on him so much for running that he sort of changed his game to me now, where he's more like a pass first quarterback, and he doesn't run as much, so I don't get as much of those highlights. And he is a great throwing quarterback.
Oh yeah,
but,
he cold.
and he do his thing throwing the ball. So, but at the same time, I wanted the running. I'm mad
Stick
at
to what
y'all.
he.
Yeah,
stick,
I wanted the running. I did.
Yeah.
But I want him. But I also understand you want him getting injured. Fine, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But with basketball, some of the talent, but they always fizzled out. Like, I've been waiting for a new generation. Like, I just seen a picture. It had a picture of KD, James Harden, LeBron James, Steph Curry, and it's like, yo, it's about to be the end of an era. Like, who are the new?
Next, yeah.
Who's the new young? Like, who are they?
I'm liking that boy Zion.
If his fat ass can
Stay-
ever fucking
stay-
get
stay in
healthy
shape,
and
right.
stay away from the porn stars, he a freaky boy. He not gonna survive, bro. He not gonna survive, bro. He not gonna survive. All of the vices and everything between the food and the
That's that
shorties,
temptation.
the temptations. Zion not gonna make it. I'm sorry, dog.
He's a freaky boy.
He's a freaky boy. He's a freaky boy. dog.
Yeah, that temptation got a hold
He
to
got
him.
a hold of him, bro. Oh my god.
But no, I like him. I like I like that kid from the Timberwolves. Anthony, what's his name? Dang, they just played him last night.
So you talk about the dude that be dunking?
Yeah.
John Morant?
Not John Morant, the other guy. What's this kid name? Anyway, he played for the Timberwolves. I like him. I don't know. The guys set the bar so high. Like LeBron has set the bar so high.
Yeah.
Is there never be another, you know what I mean?
Like, all right, I did like, if you want to mention, I don't know, like a Jason Tatum or a Jaylen Brown. I mean, all right, just because the squad they got over there, all right. Yeah. You know what I mean? Kyrie Irving is nasty, but to me, he's still in the, I still count him in the LeBron era kind of. You know what I mean? I don't really count
can't nobody
him.
really mess with him. That's
to me, he's
outside of LeBron, he unstoppable.
He's to me, the best handles and the best finishing around the rim.
Oh, yeah.
Unstoppable.
Yeah.
And really his game, he just score when he wants to. If he feel like scoring, he gonna
It's
score.
over.
He pretty much scores at will, pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
It's
That's
over.
how I feel about it.
And I don't care who checking him. It
don't matter. You know, are you kidding me? He's a globetrotter. He's done with it. Like, nah, his handles, stop it. His handles is out of this world.
He's sick with it.
He for real. You just don't stop it.
But like it's the guys before has just set the bar so high. It's kind of like
the young kids. I'm just like, which one of y'all, man? Which one of y'all
gonna take over?
And this crazy Mr. Fantastic Wembley, shout out him. He went down for the season with a blood
injury.
clot.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But his tall, lanky ass is just ridiculous, bro.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like that body is going. It's
hold
too,
up.
It's too crazy, dog. You 7'4". Come on, there's no way.
Because like now he can't play a whole game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He can't play a whole game. Come playoffs and stuff like that. He don't last.
Yeah, he ain't gonna be able to grind it out. LeBron plays high minutes. These people that are the anchor of their team, they play high minutes when the game is on crunch.
Yes, sir.
They don't take him out when you can't take him out when you know what I'm saying. Yeah. So these young guys, I'm really trying to think like. None of these young guys, I mean,
well,
I
the guy
don't
from
follow the
OKC
game that closely, but
the guy from OKC, he pretty good. He up and coming.
It's like they be trying with these guys, but I just don't. It's like I feel bad for the Golden State Warriors. They lost. I feel what happened to Klay Thompson, that injury.
That's I told you that
it
Achilles
still hurts my heart that they don't. Yeah, that Achilles is a motherfucker.
That's a bad boy, man.
It really changed some people, man.
Change it.
But KD's still balling, but he ain't.
Yeah, but he's a shooter. You know, he don't. KD not really no defensive player.
Yeah.
He's a shooter, so he can kind of last a little longer. But that injury there, that's a bad boy.
Yeah, to me, there's no one in none of these young guys is like. But I do love John Morant because I love his dunking. I love he still got the bungees. He got the bungees. He remind me of the athleticism we saw when like D.
And then he got the attitude. I like that attitude. I like the guys with them attitudes.
The tenacity.
Yeah, the tenacity.
Yeah. He attacking that shit.
Yeah, he coming at you.
It. I think there was a clip of him trying to dump on Wembley. You know what I'm saying? He was just like, he's just another guy at the rim. He's just like, he's going at him. You know what I mean? I respect it. You know what I mean? So shout out to him. I just hope he doesn't get injured on the court and he doesn't injure himself off the court. You know what I'm saying? Or any little Instagram live thing is ridiculous. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
if there was one center you could have on your team, you know what I mean? Starting your team, what center would you have?
Shaq.
Shaq?
Yeah.
Shaq?
Yes, sir.
Some people was arguing
The
me
Diesel.
for the skyhook Kareem.
No, man.
You know what I
Shaq
mean?
was one of one.
Shaq is
It's,
unstoppable.
well, I
right?
got two: Elijah Wan or Shaq.
Yeah.
You know, them my one or two. But Shaq, he was unstoppable.
just
That was the
couldn't
biggest. Yeah, that was the biggest force I had ever seen on the basketball court.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's why I loved Zion, because Zion
He
made
has
me
that.
feel-
Yeah.
But yeah, because he got that bounce. That bounce. It was the first time I seen his ass like jump. Just a couple highlights. I'm like, this big dude is like bouncing around and jump. He's
260.
yeah,
260. Yeah, that's a lot
This
of
is
weight.
big, vibrant mother effer.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
He needed to come down because the amount of jumping he was doing, with pressure he was putting on, it was bound to break. You know, he bust right through them shoes, man.
Yeah.
That's still crazy. That was still.
Boy, a big boy.
It's a big boy right there. It's a big boy. You know what I mean? But yeah. Why is it like that? Why is it like that? Why is it like that? Anyway, I'm gonna adjust this thing real quick.
Okay.
Because be right back. I gotta adjust this thing real quick because I love the brick wall in this room. Oh my God, this thing here with an hour? These things don't hold that long. No, it will. My very first podcast mic, was my phone, my podcast. Was it? Yeah. My iPhone 14 Pro, which that looks like it's either that or better. I could record, yeah. I went 13. No, I've recorded 3-4 hours on my iPhone. For real? Yeah. The iPhone will record. If you plug it in with power, it'll keep recording too. The iPhone. No, I thought it was gonna cut off. You can use the iPhone as a podcast. You gotta pay for storage, but I've used the iPod as a podcast camera. That was my first podcast camera. Was the iPhone 14 Pro. Because you need it. Because listen, whenever you buy that's why I buy this camera, because I should take this out here now. But like, let me adjust this actually. But when you ask me a camera to record for 3 hours straight, no overheating, no problems, there's not a lot of cameras that can do that. But the iPhone can. The iPhone can.
I'm sorry. Oh, no, but that's all I did.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Yeah, I had to adjust it. That's better, but yeah, that's better. All right. Hey, we back. And there was something that I wanted to address. Oh, someone said, "What up, though?" Who was that? Hey, I was not. Oh, first time chat. Shout out to Detroit Cherry Bomb. You know what I mean? Chatting over there. Shout out to you. Let me adjust this screen here. Apparently, I don't even know how to. Is that it? Move it up. Yup, that did it. Now we are in focus. And now I moved it too far that way. Hang on. Now it's way over there. I'm barely on the screen. We are back and we are live. Pardon me. Let me see you run a live show and see how it work out with you with all the different. You know what I mean? But yeah, what you call it? Shout out to my guy here, John Williams, for coming in this the podcast. I appreciate you, man. So tell me about the story behind Save Detroit.
I started Save Detroit maybe like in 2008.
Yeah.
And how I started it, man, it's kind of a sad story. My homeboy was about to shoot somebody across the street from my grandma's house. And, you know, like I was telling you earlier, everybody loved me in my neighborhood. So I knew the guy he was about to shoot. And I knew the guy that was, you know, had the gun. And actually, he was my two guard in high school playing basketball. He was one of my two guard.
Wow.
I'm like, hey. So I stopped him from shooting the guy across the street, man. And then that night, he ended up getting killed in front of his kids. Yep. So I go to his funeral. And his funeral was so long, I dozed off. But the guy I was with, my partner I was with, I thought he was playing with me. Kept saying something in my ear. It was like, stopping all violence everywhere. John, you the type can push this message, stopping all violence everywhere. So I shake out. I'm like, man, stop. I'm like, Ron, stop playing, man, at this boy funeral. Stop playing. You know, I'm thinking he playing with me. Like, man, what are you talking about? He kept going back and forth. Man, I ain't messing with you. So, you know, you never really finish your dreams.
Yeah.
I go home, it came to me again in my dream, like stopping all violence everywhere. So I would go to work. I'd be writing it down on my podium. Shout out to my boy Walt at Greektown. He would always catch me doing it. Like, man, what is this you keep writing down? You know, when you was younger, the teacher make you write the stuff on the board 1,000 times so I can remember it. I'm just writing it. So he would ask me, he like, man, what is you doing, John? Man, what is, every time I come give you a break, this be on the podium. Yeah. And I'm like, man, I don't know. It keep messing with me, Walt. So make a long story short, I'll go home and tell the missus, I'm like, hey, I want to put this on the shirt. You know, I want to put this message. It keep bothering me. I want to put the message on the shirt. So just so happened that weekend we was going to Vegas, and I put Save, and then I put the Detroit Tigers. I was thinking of the Tigers. Yeah. A tiger, and I put Detroit at the bottom. So when we get out to Vegas, they're like, Save Detroit, I like that. Man, where you get that from? I love that. Save Detroit, where you get that from? I like that. So we was going on the old side of Vegas. It's called, is it Fremont Street or whatever? Whatever it is, it's the old side. Yeah. So we take the train down there to see the old side of the strip, right? It was a couple getting married from Detroit. So it was maybe like 50, 60 people down there. You know, the groom, the whatever, they seen us get off the thing. They seen my shirt and started chanting, Save Detroit, Save Detroit, Save Detroit, Save Detroit. So the missus turned around and looked at me. She said, John, God gave you something. You got to put your foot on it. You know what I mean? You got to, you know, put your foot on it. So I come home, trademarked it, patented it or whatever. And I asked her, I'm like, I don't like this design. Can you make me another design? My wife can draw real good. I'm like, could you make me another design? She was like, yeah, I got you. She was like, I'm going to give you 5, and I'm going to give you 5 to choose from. So I get home from work. She showed me the first one. I'm like, nah, that ain't it. She showed me the second one. I'm like, I don't like that. The one I got on now was the third one. I'm like, oh, that's it. Yeah. She's like, everything is by sight. It's by, you know, on sight or whatever. And she was like, you sure you want this one? I'm like, yeah, that's the one. And then the rest is history.
Nice.
The rest is history.
Man. Shout out to say Stop All
Violence Everywhere.
Yep. That's a cold-blooded acronym.
That was And when I did it, when she did it, it's funny that it looked like it say save, you know what I mean, save Detroit, but it's really stopping all violence everywhere.
But which would also save Detroit if we stopped all violence everywhere.
There
so
you go.
It worked out. So
There
it's,
you go.
it's like a double entendre. You know what I'm saying? Like so, that's really amazing. That's really great, man. So
Yes, sir.
what was it like? Learning how to make the show, or like what was it like finding different people to make the shirts? Like the business side of it, like what?
Now, just the funny part, I was going to people that I knew that wouldn't help me. You know, I was asking people. My job was a guy at my job at the time. I was working at Greek Town. I was asking, hey man, he had a t-shirt line on. I'm like, man, how you? He would never help me. So another guy asked. He told me to Google something. You know, it seemed like for some odd reason, wasn't nobody helping me. So I end up going to this guy in Highland Park. I'm like, man, I want to put this logo on the shirt. How do I do this? He's like, no problem, man. He took my little thing, my wife had it on a thumb drive, took it, put it in the machine. It came up on the screen. I'm like, he's like, how big do you want it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, just make it across the chest, you know, visible for people can see the message or whatever. And it was it. It was it. And I've been dealing with this guy ever since I started. Yep. Shout out to Mike, man, in Highland Park.
He's still cranking out them shirts.
Yeah, he's still doing for me. Yep.
That's dope. That's dope as hell, man.
Yep. There you go.
Because his merch game is not easy. You know what I mean? And
not.
there's so many ways to do it, but you gotta find what works for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I want to automate it and like make it like some store I don't gotta worry about.
Mm-hmm.
But then I don't get to like touch the clothing as much or like get to like the quality in certain ways. You know what I'm saying? Like I kind of like the idea of having a guy that you know, as opposed to just using a service, a company that you don't know who's doing it.
See, mine not a clothing brand. Mine is a message. You know what I mean? Mine is not. I turned it into a clothing brand so it could be fashionable, but it's still a message. You know what I mean? So, stopping all violence is more than a T-shirt. You know, it's community, it's family, it's friends, it's neighborhood. You know, it's a way of life. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it.
So you've thrown some events with Save Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? What's that experience been
Now,
like?
the events that I do is for the kids. You know, I do the bike, book bag, school supply giveaway.
Yeah, it's like when you did like it was like a 5K run. Or
Yeah,
like
the 5K run is for mental health. I do the mental health 5K every year. These things came from, like I was saying, I didn't have my father, but it was a gentleman in our neighborhood named Paul Taylor. It was an inner city sub center that we used to go to after school. So everything I'm actually doing, I got from Paul. Paul used to do it for me when I was younger. So, you know, we had lunches, we had the swimmobile. How old are you? You remember the swimobile?
I'm 30. And
Yeah. See, you young.
Plus, I grew up in Brooklyn. I don't
Oh,
know
yeah. So we had like a swimobile. He used to have the swimobile come around. It was actually a pool on
mobile.
It was a pool on wheels. So he had that. He used to. I mean, anything you wanted.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
A swim mobile.
Yeah, swimobile. So everything was at the inner city sub center, and then that's how I kind of got tied into basketball too. He started a basketball team at the center. We would go around and play all the churches, the other centers, you know, stuff like that. So a lot of things that I'm doing in the community, and I get a kick out of doing it because it reminds me of what Paul did for me when I was young.
Interesting. Yep. Interesting. Shout out to Save Detroit, man. So
there you
go. You talked about wanting to start a podcast of your own. You know what I mean? Tell me about your podcast and your idea of content you wanted to make in the future.
Well, I want two. The first one is basketball. That's what my heart is. And then the other one's going to be like a Save Detroit podcast.
So like a sports podcast?
Yeah, sports podcast. I want, actually, like I said, too, I actually got a YouTube channel. It's called John Williams Basketball Talk, where I got all the fellas, all the guys talking about who they played against and who's the top 3 guys they ever played against, you know, and that kind of took off. So on top of that, I want to capitalize off that and make a podcast out of that one. But the Save Detroit one, I want to talk about certain stuff, you know, why our kids not reading, our 8th grade kids not reading on the 5th grade level, the violence. See, you saying it was about the violence in Detroit. What can we do to change that? You know, a lot of stuff, you know, I want to talk on, you know, why is a lot of fathers walking away from, you know, families, you know, you know, stuff like, you know, stuff that hit home. I want to have my podcast about that.
I like that. I like that a lot. So with those two, with the Save Detroit and the basketball, that's really dope. That's really dope. I wanted to ask, like, what league? Because I do wonder this. Like, I would like, what league do you think is consistent enough, with enough games, big enough, but doesn't have their games filmed?
What game? Let me see.
Is it the 50 and up
It's
league?
no.
Or
Honestly, all of them getting covered now.
all of them.
Yeah. I mean, this the big. This what you doing here?
Yeah.
In videos, and that's the biggest thing now.
It's
If
not
you,
the-
I'm
I feel like more people
what's so funny?
selling plates before.
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna take you to one of my friend,
Yeah, I
my
do.
boy DJ's basketball game. Lights, camera. It's you would think you had a Piston game or something,
That's
and it's a high
crazy.
school game.
A high school game.
Yeah, so it's big. And then my other homeboy, Terrence T and his brother, they got a PBL. That's another little basketball
PBL
league.
league.
Yeah, PBL league.
And
So
that one's filmed.
that's filmed. So everybody's doing it. You know what I'm saying?
God.
Like
even so, the 50 and up league is filmed.
yeah. Well, no, the 50 and up league is not filmed. I do the most that I can to get it out there. But
That's what I'm trying to get.
okay, yeah, you can. That'll be perfect for you.
Yeah, you know, because I expect like, all right, so NFL games is filmed. I mean, NBA, you know what I mean? College games is filmed. All right. High school games is filmed. The better ones, all of them, not even the smaller ones. All right, fine. All right, what about the Pop One and AU type leagues? You know what I mean? They probably filmed. All right. What about the 30 and up leagues?
The 50 and up would be perfect though, because now that you're bringing it up, it's a lot of guys that was who's who back in the day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All city, all state guys playing, and guys that played in college. Matter of fact, Grant Long playing the 50 and over league. He played for the Pistons. You know? So you'll run into Lindsey Hunter coming here in the playoff. He never really played through the season. He always come when the playoffs kicking in. The 50 and over. So yeah,
The 50 and 0. Yeah, I was just trying to find my way in.
That'd be perfect.
In the sports videography world, you know what I mean? I know I'm always willing to pay my dues.
Yeah. That'd be perfect.
So
though for you.
I was just thinking about, all right, 50 and I'll keep that in mind. I'll keep that in mind. So one thing I wanted to ask you, since you had brought it up, too, a little bit about the dating. You know what I mean? Like, I had a whole bunch of questions on that. You know what I mean? But I was going to say, like, this modern dating world, man, you are lucky because I believe you're married, right?
Yeah, married 17 years.
You're lucky to have gotten that. Matter of fact, 17 years. We're going to clap it up for that.
Yeah.
Because that's a whole lot of work. That's a whole lot of work.
We've been kicking it since I was 18, so yeah.
18?
Yeah.
What year was that? 1912? Nah, I'm just...
Bad Mama Jama.
Nah. Was that like the 80s and 90s?
Was that 90? When we started talking, I graduated 94, so it must be like 95, 96.
I was born in 94. He said he
Oh,
graduated
wow.
in
Yeah.
94.
I graduated high school in 94. Yeah. So right
I
after,
was just popping about that love.
so yeah, you making me sound old. Now you make me feel old.
Nah, I feel you. This dude in my job, he turned 18. He had my job. This is his first job ever in life. I'm like,
Wow.
it's crazy. This is your first job ever?
That's wow.
It's nuts.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
17 years.
17 years, man. So if you're not in the game, and trust me, you don't want to be in the game. But what's your perception of modern dating? Even though you don't really got to deal with, you've been out the game for a little. What do you see?
It's tough, man. I be watching a lot of this. See, it's this social media stuff that messed up a lot of stuff. You know, you ain't got to date a chick no more. You ain't got to ask for a phone number. I was at work one day and I heard the little guy say, he was talking to the girl. He's like, yeah, what's your IG? Or what's your Facebook? And we used to get the phone up, the phone, so it's different. It's terrible too, because they glorifying a lot of stuff with this money and cars and shaking their butt, and so it's tough. You know what I mean? It's not even back in the day. You used to be curious what a girl looked like or under her clothes, or you want to see what you know what I mean. Yeah. Now you see it. You see it so much.
It's
it ain't
all
even
online.
Yeah, you see it so much. Just like you were saying, Angela Reese.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
She been butt naked since since the season been over. So it's tough. I mean, it's the dating is tough.
For
it's
real,
tough.
man. The
It's
dating
tough.
is crazy.
And then everything is around money now. If you ain't got money, and
I'm
this, that,
telling
and the third.
you can't
court
court
a chick. Yeah,
I'm telling you,
it's tough. It's
and
tough.
then these shorties is not worth the squeeze.
No.
All of that for some shorty that's super entitled. Like the amount of entitlement has been going viral. Like shorty, like the one that got mad at him for taking her to a Cheesecake Factory.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean, acting like Cheesecake Factory, like just Cheesecake
Cake
Factory.
Factory. It's
Come
tough.
on, man.
It's tough.
It was even
It's
Drake was
tough.
like, why you gotta argue back in cheesecake? You
Cake
know I let her go here. Know what I mean? So Drake is good for Drake. If Drake took you to cheesecake, you be shutting the
It's
fuck
cool.
up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
See, that's what I'm saying.
Always taking
It's
the
tough.
cheesecake is
It's
a problem.
tough. I'm kind of glad I'm married, man. It's really bad out here.
Telling
you
you,
know?
it's a blessing.
It's a blessing.
You know what I mean? Because I want to get married so bad. You know what I mean? But like, I feel like these women today are not worthy of the type of love that I want to give. I want to be like loyal and like be a provider, you know what I mean, and protect you and everything, you know what I mean?
But it go both ways too. These men, these men terrible too out here, and I ain't shitting on them or nothing like that. But it's the social media era.
Yeah.
This stuff has really messed a lot of stuff
It
up.
has.
It has.
It's new. It's still
It
new.
is.
It only been out since like 2007,
And
6,
it done
8
tore us
around
down.
there. Yeah, for
tore us
like
down.
I was on Facebook. I mean, on MySpace in y'all don't know what MySpace is now. I was on MySpace in 2007, 6, and that was like the first John. MySpace and like AIM Messenger, AOL Messenger was like the first online sparking of social media type thing, and then Facebook came, and then Instagram.
Over with. It's a wrap.
Done. It was done.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
It was done. And then
You ain't got to do too much.
And then when Tinder came on, I remember when online dating first started, and people used to look at you like weird if you was dating online. You know what I mean? They'd be like, "You dating?"
Now it's the thing.
Now it's the majority. Now it's like everybody dating online. They all doing it.
It's the thing now.
You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Facebook dating, dog, because the first time I was single on Facebook, that shit popped right up. Facebook dating. I was like, what?
See?
Yo.
You can touch people. You can touch people all around the world now. So
I'm telling you, that's another two. Girls from
see,
all
I
over
had
the place.
my first girlfriend. I had to go home and meet her daddy. I had to walk her home from school.
Wow.
They don't do none of that no more.
Yeah.
None of that.
I remember I did that one time, and I still remember. This like a good memory. Fellas, I recommend you do this, man, especially if your girl got anxiety. So my ex-girl used to have anxiety a lot, right? And I remember one time, I just took her on a date for a walk in the park. That was the whole purpose of the date. It was a nice park. I was like, listen, baby, I'm going to drive you to this park. We're going to walk through the park. You know what I mean? So we drive there, we get out the car, and I said this like 6 times while we was walking. Because we start walking, we chilling. All of a sudden, she starts speeding up. Now we walking mad fast. And I'm like, I hope we get there on time. She's like, oh, yeah, we can slow down. Yeah, we're not going. We just walking, relax. She's like, we didn't relax. We start walking. Then we start speeding up. We're good. Why are we running again? Like, wait, let's relax. Can we just stroll? You don't know how to relax. Relax. And then she started laughing. She was like, I don't know what's going on. Like, you don't know how to
And that was
chill.
fun.
Just walk.
Think about that.
Chill.
Yeah, that was fun.
Just walk at a good pace.
Ours was the me and my ex. We used to go to the Dairy Queen on Mac and Seneca. That was the main Dairy Queen in the city. That was Dairy Queen. I didn't have to take her to Roof Chris or what all the none of that. So I don't know.
Felt good taking Shorty to a Red Lobster. I was like, nah, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. I was like, but Beyonce was singing about the cheddar biscuits. Beyonce like the cheddar biscuits.
It's bad. This date.
So it's good enough for Beyonce to like the cheddar biscuits and Red Lobster. But if I take you there, it's a problem.
Yeah, dating's terrible, man. It's terrible. Right? Shout out to y'all, man. Y'all, but it's terrible.
I remember one time the most I've ever paid to that moment with dates was like I went to took a chick to Benihana's. Took a chick to Benihana's. That bill was $195, and at the time I was like, never in my life heart hurt.
Anything one
heart hurt, yeah. $195. Ooh. And then I messed up and fucked around and ended up taking this chick to a birthday dinner. And it was at this spot called like Joe Muir, like by the water, the seafood spot. Bro, the bill was like $370, dog.
Joe Muir. Shout out to Joe Muir off the river.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice, but ouch. Ouch.
That bill come, your lips look like you ate some powdered donuts. Man.
I'm telling you. All of a sudden, everybody got the bill hurt. Oh my God. It was and then I was there and it was like 7 of her friends when I was there. So I'm just trying the $375, but that was just paying for me and the birthday girl's dinner, and I bought them a round of drinks. And let me tell you something, that round of drinks, each of them was like $13, $14 a piece. So that was the best I could do for them. Think about it. You there with your shorty. You think you just taking her. She's like, hey, when you coming to your birthday dinner? All right.
My God.
Then you with her, and it's you, her, and then 7 of her friends, and no other dudes at the table. And you like, bro, I was not financially ready to, because then they looking at me like, and I'm like, listen.
See? That's why I say it's different.
I'm sweating. Listen,
so what if you just said, no, I'm not paying for y'all stuff?
I didn't even want to pay for her stuff. I want to pay for the birthday girl shit.
That's what I'm saying.
I didn't want to pay for her shit. I'm just, like I said,
but then you lame if you don't.
Yeah, I pay for me, her, and all the other have around the drinks. And I'm already at $375 something. So if I to pay for all of y'all, dude, that's like 2 P5s looking like
Man,
2 plates.
God.
Come on, nah, y'all killing me, dog. I'd have been y'all bugging, dog. Yeah. But yeah. And then after that, of course, they wanted to go to a club after that. So after the dinner, we going to a club after the dinner. You know what I mean? So we ain't done yet. Now I gotta pay to get in the club.
Man,
you know what I mean? Now I gotta buy another round of drinks at the club, and I'm like,
I ain't cheap, but ain't no way.
Dog. That was an expensive night. There was no way, but yeah. But anyway, so just before I get, I got 3 last questions for you. Okay. One question: do you love America?
Yes, sir. I wouldn't want to be nowhere else.
I love that. I love that. Thank you. At no point was you like, I'm leaving America if this person gets elected. These people.
Oh no.
I wish they would have been forced to.
I don't let stuff consume me like that.
Yeah.
So like I said, I don't even get into politics, religion, all that kind of stuff.
People ready to be anti-politics.
Yeah, man. I don't let that stuff move me.
All right.
It is what it is.
If you could give your 20-year-old self advice, what would you tell him?
Stay in school. I regret I didn't finish school. Well, I regret 2 things I didn't do. I'm going to be honest with you. 1994, when I graduated high school, I always wanted to go to the Air Force, and I didn't go. I regret that to the fullest.
Me too.
That's like one of my biggest regrets, and not finishing school. So if I was to tell my 20-year-old self or 18-year-old self, do what you plan to do. I had always wanted to be in the Air Force, and they came to my high school. This the funny part. They came to my high school. Back then, they used to recruit.
They came to my high school too.
So they come, when I say sugar shop, no, I'm going to say casket shop. I'm like, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. I go home and tell my grandma. That's why a lot of stuff you don't tell other people what you.
Let me guess, your grandmother was like, you're not about to do that.
And she was in a care stage. You know, she a mother. 3 of her sons was in Vietnam. So she didn't want that. You know, I was like her, you know, she was raising me. I was like her son.
But did they come back?
Yeah, but they came back kind of messed up. Yeah, my Uncle Red, he's still messed up to this day. You know what I mean? So she's like, no, Johnny, I think you should just go to school. I don't want you to, you know, indulge into that. But that's my own, honestly, my whole life, that's my biggest regret. Not going to the Air Force. Because I could have traveled, went to school, did everything all in one, played basketball.
Exactly.
You know, did it all in one.
I feel you.
On the country. You know what I mean? I had to pay.
And they got mad benefits after and everything.
Not only that, the traveling part.
Yeah.
You know, I'd have seen the world. You know what I mean? That's my biggest regret, 1994, 95.
I feel you on that, man. All right, so I wish you a very, very long life. I hope you live a very, very long time. If you should for some reason be watching this episode back when you're 95 years old and you like half a cyborg with some little robot parts or whatever, what is the message you would like to have for a 95-year-old John looking back and watching this?
That's a good question. That's a deep question. 94-year-old John.
He's looking at you.
Well,
right now. What you want to tell him?
If I made it to 95, my advice to myself was I did a good job. I made it. A lot of people ain't making it nowadays.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
We just had a friend I worked with just died. He was 38 years old. So 95, I did my thing.
This was not a part of it, but it's random. Just popped in my head. What's your opinion on Ozempic?
Oh, who?
Ozempic.
What's that?
It's like a thing that they injection that helps them lose weight. It's like a.
Oh no, I don't. Do the work, y'all.
That's how Lizzo lost. So you seen Lizzo lately?
Yeah, do the work. I ain't into none of the injection stuff.
Yeah, injection that make you don't got to work out. Just
none
inject
of that.
You'll lose weight.
I ain't into like medicine and all that. Just do it the right way.
Do it the right way.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
It's a little harder, but I ain't into it.
So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. Thank you very much for coming here. You know what I mean? Y'all already know what I said. Listen, there's a lot of places your ears could be. I'm honored they chose to be with me. When in doubt, use calm honesty to express your vision.
There you go.
And most of all, thanks for listening.
Thanks for having me, man.